Hi, everybody. This is Joanna. Thank you for tuning into the early morning Ascension show. Yay! All the ancestors in the house. Yay, ancestors. Fairies, the Pixies, Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, the Hathors, the Elohim, and all of the archangels. Thank you, Lord Michael, just tuning in. Thank you, Lord Michael, and all of our beautiful, beloved teams and ancestors. And for those of you that are first joining us, know that these are multidimensional offerings and giftings. As I'm opening up and awakening to more of my multidimensional gifts as a Christed communicator and conduit, healer and vibrational teacher and leader of many wisdoms of light through many of the ancient Akashic timelines and lineage. Wow, it just becomes bigger and more grand, and why living as the soul is so much fun. And we thank you so much, and we honor you that you'll be given the codes and the honorings and the blessings that you desire. If you're attracted to these videos and the titles of these videos, then you'll know why. You're being activated and honored in new ways. And we're here to remind you of this beautiful sacred dance, of all that is glorious, of all that is the sacred song and the sacred dance of Source Creator. Source Creator is the epitome of all creation that lives within us. It is a micro-macro experience through which our own inner seeking of who we are, the harmonization of all that we are as multidimensional beings of light, the physical, the mental, the emotional, the etheric of the lower bodies of all that we are, harmonizing every moment as remembering ourselves as spirit, the harmonization of spirit as we create matter. Our spirit of who we are, the harmonization of who we are, acceptance of all that we are, releasing ourselves from stories that we've played out over and over again, and we're releasing ourselves from those patterns and from those cycles, healing all of the lineage that goes with it, healing the collective as it goes with it. So know that when you're releasing something from your life, whether it be an old story, patterns and cycles and experiences and energies and food and anything that no longer serves your highest and your best, nothing that allows you to feel the nourishment of who you are, and just transforming it and releasing it with gratitude and compassion and understanding, and allowing yourself that time to have introspection through how it served you, how it's honored you, how it's bathed you in new blessings and new heights of awareness, new heights of knowing that you can choose a new path, that you can choose new energies, that you can choose a new way forward. And in that becoming of all that you are, that's that processing and integrating the belief systems that which held you into vibrating stories that don't feel good, that allow those same cycles of karmic energy to unfold, and for you to stay within the limiting patterns of who you thought yourself to be. So Ascension is about, as I've written in all of my books, are the 3 E's. How we explore ourselves, how we experience ourselves, and how we express ourselves. That's the soul's ache for evolution within and of itself. And as we release the psyche wounds, which are just those vibrational experiences, that's all it is, vibrational experiences that we each come to call in, to own as our own, to own as the story of who we are, to own as the lessons and the blessings of who we are, to own as the strength and the wisdom of who we are. Therefore, we're integrating all that we are, and not leaving anything out, not judging it, not separating it, not damning it, not disclosing it, not having attitudes and judgments and all of those things that we have about it, because that's ego that says you don't belong, we're separate, you're going to get one over on me. It's fear-based, it's limiting, it's subjugating, any of those energies. So sussing those vibrational stories on what you're going through, why you're going through it, and why did you call it within yourself, because there's a belief or there's a pattern or a cycle within you that is ready to release it. And those are just owning those vibrational stories and say, that was a part of my vibrational story. I'm ready to let it go now. And you're releasing what can be released and transmuted through the Holy Source Creator, all that is, the Elohim, your spirits, your guides, Gaia, all that is the omnipresent, that is Source. Transmuting, and you claiming the victory. You claiming the victory of your wisdom. You claiming the victory of your new expanded soul experience, to get to say, that soul expansive is held deeply and steeped within the very center of your choice, the divine relationship. I understand I'm part of the all. The all is very neutral. How I perceive it from my own unique perspective can place it in either a positive or negative experience. And then you go to the bottom of those stories, those vibrational stories. How did I perceive myself? How did I perceive outside of me? What did I perceive what's going on within me? A part of those 3 E's is, who am I? What do I exist within, and what exists within me? And then we can just suss out those vibrational stories and say, that was not my truth. It was somebody else's truth. This is my new truth. I get to choose. Returning all of your power to the epicenter of you, returning all of your dominionship, all of your self-guidance, your self-counsel, all that you are with Source, your intuitions, your higher self, your teams, your guides, all that is Source Creator, your ancestors, the celestial teams, the light ship teams, your councils that you're working on, Galactic Federation, the Elohim, Gaia energy, Faery energy, Gnome energy, All that you know is consciousness that's working with you. The universe as a whole converges as you choose anew. My choice of intention to know spirit, to entangle with spirit, to love spirit, to co-create with spirit, because this is who I am. I am spirit creating matter, and I'm going to align with me. I'm going to align with my soul star chakra. I'm going to align with my ascension destiny. I'm going to align with me as who I am as body, mind, heart, spirit, and soul. And I'm harmonizing all that I am as higher self. I'm harmonizing all that I am as spirit. I'm harmonizing all that I am to create my reality the way I choose. And in doing so, you're aligning with your highest dream. You're aligning with your highest and your best, which therefore serves everybody that you're entangled with. That's just a natural, innate, organic experience in the flow of source. There's always a natural experience, and it doesn't have to be forced or controlled or manipulated. And that is those energy stories and those fear stories of ego. And that's okay, because there's many timelines through which our bodies and our forms and all of our experiences had those psyche wounds, through which we played all roles of control. We've played the controller and the control-E and the victim and the perpetrator, all of those things that we've all played. And that's why they show up in our reality. The wisdom of it comes with acknowledging it and becoming aware of it. I aware that there's some sort of a control issue going on here. I'm acknowledging as a part of my story, and now I'm stepping out of it. Because you want to live from a space of spirit and choose from that heart space, choose from that presence of who you are as love and light and benevolence. Because as you're choosing from spirit, so too is your reality converging around you. For you are the pulsation of all that you experience. It is the light. And so what we wanted to talk about today is all of us that are parents and workers in the light worker community, all of us that are aching to really infuse light into anything that comes forward into our attention, into our awareness, because we're becoming more self-directed and self-confident and clear in our vocational experience, in our vocational direction. How do we want to serve? How do we want to offer our creative gifts? And in that natural flow of source, sending it back to you as those pulsations, the all that you are as speaking. And we say that all that you are is speaking because you're now becoming aware that you are the speaking of all your chakras. Your chakras are vortices of information, of infinite wisdom and intelligence, every chakra. And as you become awakened and bathed with greater light, our planet being bathed these beautiful solar energies and these beautiful galactic energies and the beautiful energies of ascension that Source offers us, above and below and all things within and above. Remember, Source is not outside of anything. You can't take water out of water. Source is the all within the all and all spaces in between. So as you send out the pulsation of who you are as Source, becoming the awakening of Source, becoming the awareness of Source, I am that I am as Source, those pulsations are sent out into the omnipresent. The omnipresent then start communicating back to you because you're seeing and you're intending, you're experiencing yourself and expressing yourself and exploring yourself as Source. I honor this process, and whatever comes to me is meant to come to me because I have the wisdoms now to navigate through it and around it and over it and above it. I'm going to take parts of it and I'm going to use parts of it and then I'm going to go over here. I'm going to offer my fullest and I'm going to offer my best through it's my excitement. It's my excitement to be in this experience of flowing creativity, a flowing experience with Source. Source will place whatever in front of me so that I can explore Source and love within it. I can explore the game of light within it. I can explore the essence of joy within it. For everything has the vibration of Source within it. Everybody has everything that Source creates, and everyone and everybody and everything has the vibration of truth and love within it, for that is Source. And as you're awakening and speaking as Source and pulsating as Source and experiencing and exploring yourself as Source, so too will that entanglement become awakened to you. Remember, we are multidimensional. Where's my picture? We are multidimensional experiences of communication, all that we are and all that we are encapsulated, the epicenter of light that we are. We are constantly sending and receiving information, not only with Gaia, to Gaia, from Gaia, and also the multidimensional vibrations of all that we are through Source Creator, and all of the light that's being bathed upon us in the planet. And every moment that we are acknowledging ourselves as spirit, creating matter, acknowledging ourselves as sacred, even though sometimes you might not feel it because you're going through something challenging and traumatic. Allow those stories to be processed, accept them, acknowledge them as a part of your wisdom. Come back to your center and choose anew, and release what you can no longer transmute. Release the burdens, release the projections, release the obligations, and release the expectations of others, and any roles or stories that you've been held within that are not yours. You have the choice to release them. Then you return to the center of who you are. This is the epitome of your I am presence, the I am presence of your solar plexus, the divine sacred heart, and the speaking of it through your voice. And all of these chakras, and there's far many more than what we know about that's written about. There is chakras everywhere, and they're vortices of communication. And as you awaken to the multidimensional fields, the subtle fields, the galactic third eye, your third eye, and all that you are, the galactic ears and the sights and the sounds that you are as a Christic being, those of us that have Christ consciousness, we activate in the way of knowing information within the fields and within all that is presented to us, because everything holds source consciousness, omnipresence, God, source, creator, light, information, wisdom. And it's based on the fluidity and the path of light. Everything is light. It's just a variation of the perspective that it's holding itself within. Therefore, you're going through an experience where you're going through the dark night of the soul. You're perceiving yourself through a veil that says, I am not light. And you're sussing out those stories and those activations through which the densities are being cleared from those spaces. Because those densities are saying, it's time for you to own this. You are light. That story was not yours. That story was an experience of another lifetime that you can now own as a part of your wisdom, that you can now claim as a part of your now knowing. So own it. Don't run from it. Accept it. You're powerful. It's a part of you. And allow that judgment to be released, because that judgment separates you from you and you. No matter what it seems like to be outside, no matter what the story appears to be playing to you and showing to you, it's you. It's all you. Your readiness to accept your greatness. Wow, I can be that positive and that inspiring. Wow, that's me. That's a part of me. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, because we're offering codes and love that says we are one. We are in a family of one. Regardless of the skin color, regardless of the body form, regardless of the stories that one another tells one another, we are the reflections of our story of oneness. They hold light within it. And those of us with the Christ consciousness come with different enhancements and come with different attributes through which we can communicate in a way that is unknown and unexplainable. And why, when I'm offered into a space of different variations of through the heart intention, you're intending to open your heart and just simply receive in any of our offerings. Just open your heart and receive. And you will allow yourself and your teams and your guides to assist you. Just open a massage. Open a massage what I did not know, what I'm ready to release, what I'm ready to open up to. Doesn't mean there is an aspect of belief, for this is just loving sharing. There is no message of dogma, or there is no message of occultism. There is just a message of our oneness and how light informs, how light is sent, and how light is received. The information and the wisdom within source in all things. For it is a story and a song of love and information and belonging and togetherness and becoming. And there is no right or wrong on anything of anything, because it's all a part of source. It's all neutral. And anytime you're ready to step out of any story, there's a new one presented for you, because that's source. Source will always present you something new when you're ready to close something down. You've taken the lessons, you've learned your lessons, you've learned the blessings of it, and you're integrating it as you to behave and to create new. And that's mastery. And that takes time to be present in your center before choosing, before speaking. And grounding with Gaia, because she's got a lot of information and wisdom to feed you. And those of us that are Gaia speakers are absolutely a part of this becoming. We had a beautiful class this weekend, and this beautiful class allowed me to I had a most incredible experience. And those of you that want to join us on our bi-monthly moon wisdom healing and leadership classes, we meet and we gather on the new moon and the full moon of every month. And the link is just sending me an email saying you want to participate in the class, and then making a comment in the PayPal field on which class you want to participate in, so that I can organize the payments to what class. And then we have a weekly World Ascension class every Saturday. And every class seems to be expanding into new territories of our oneness with our consciousness of all that is, the omnipresent of source. Remember, source is everywhere and all things in between. There's nowhere that source isn't. You are a field of light. Your higher bodies harmonizing with your lower bodies, creating that sacred geometry of harmonization. So the more that you're releasing the limitations and the subjugations of your lower bodies, beliefs, patterns, cycles, Akashic projections from the collective, from the society, from your family, from dogma, from me, that comes from everywhere. Any limiting projections, you get to release and say, that doesn't belong to me, but I understand it's a part of the collective. I honor it. And not damning it or putting it away. No, it's a part of our co-creation. Just honor it. And that's how it's transmuted. You can't transmute something if you're not accepting it. You can't transmute and release judgment or the pain or the separation that comes within disease. Because disease is that separation and that veil that's clouded, that holds you back from the perfection of source that you are. You are the glowing epitome of source creator, your sacred geometry, your sacred wisdoms, your sacred intelligence in all things. And when your cells are held back from that, by either not being commanded by you as light, not being loved and nourished by you as light, and not being valued by you as light, remember the epicenter of you. I love myself and I honor myself. I value myself. And I am the epicenter of my soul's destiny. How I create as a human form, through the spirit of all that I am, through the celestial knowing that I am, through my fairy knowing of all that I am, through all that I am as source creator. However source wants to harmonize and integrate my new aspects, because your aspects are infinite. And as you release all densities of those aspects that have been wounded and healed, the denser aspects, you're calling them in to be loved, and therefore opening yourself up to lighter aspects of you. You then get to call in those higher aspects of you, and it's a constant harmonization to your higher self. It's the harmony song that Source is in light. And as you're allowing yourself to be open and gracious and loving and beautiful in this song, everything that comes before you is just a moment to harmonize. Does this feel good for me? And tune in. Because I'm a being, I have so many ways to tune into light. As Christ consciousness, our fields are activated to tune into what's going on in the field of those standing before us, whether it's nature, whether it's an animal, whether it's other beings. We can sense it in the field. We see things in the field. And as you awaken to your Christ consciousness in the classes that have been showing me, is that I'm sensing into and becoming more and more the energy of the wisdom within Source Creator, which is what the Christ conduit energy can do, because it reads light. It reads light in a way that is not necessarily reading. It is interpreting, it's understanding, it's transmuting, it's transmuting. When we say transmute, we don't mean that it's changing from one thing to another. Transmuting means I'm transmuting, I'm transposing, I'm what's that word, Spirit? Transmitter of what I'm sensing and seeing and hearing and feeling all at the same time. It's a multidimensional now experience. And it's so, we don't have words to explain what I often experience in these classes, because when others of great profound soul energies, which we had this weekend, great soul energies that are just connecting at a sacred vibration just to hold space for one another and learn and just explore at the soul level, the souls open up these portals of great profound wisdom and intelligence. And we had an experience this weekend where something that had never been experienced on earth before had come forward. And it was like this burst of energy going through a pipe, if you will. And those pipes are what I always see as threads. And I often post them on my Facebook page to show and give some sort of examples on what I see as threadings and why I always talk about threadings, why I always talk about the veins and the pulsings of Source Creator that just always constantly feeding us songs of light and songs of wisdom and songs of love. And when we're at a certain level of consciousness awareness and our hearts through pure intention just want to come and learn and explore who we are, we're breaking these portals of consciousness and wisdom and of multidimensional, multi-realm communications between us and all other beings of love and light, of consciousness, of light programs, God consciousness, Christ consciousness, fun consciousness, evolutionary consciousness, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter, because the names sometimes limit us through the expression and the experience that is undeniable. You can't explain what I experienced this weekend. We don't have words for it. But it was like the movie of the Horton Sees Who's, or the Who's Sees Horton, whatever that movie is, Dr. Seuss. And they were all yelling through this megaphone. And it had to take the little child, Jojo. I always love that movie. Jojo, the most quiet one in the group. And it was his creative excitement to really explore his gift of creating this beautiful megaphone sound machine that he created through the silence and through the little silent interplay that he had with his creative gifts, not wanting to fall in alignment of conformity of his father and tradition. But he built this beautiful experience through which in the end of the movie was truly required to evolve their own community of the Who's. I mean, it's a very mirrored symbology of what I experienced this weekend, because they were showing me this beautiful golden threaded pipe, and there was so much love and grace and open potentiality in the group through which we just held space for one another, and through which I honored my gifts and I valued my gifts enough, and falling in love with myself enough, and remembering myself as a sacred Gaia communicator and Christ consciousness communicator. There was those equal opportunities of, thank you, Spirit, of the, what is it called? A cocktail of love, the cocktail of beauty, the cocktail of sacredness that is, you just can't predict those moments. That's Source. It's the subtle moment of love and anticipation and excitement, just to co-create and be with one another and explore and experience one another. And that is the sacred child. And through that sacred child moment, all of these energies that were waiting for eons to be transmuted and transposed and being the transistor, if I will, the conduit of which I will, to be exposed to the collective energies and the collective grids to be brought into this new experience. Because they've shown me for many, many years is that there's everything that's offered. Source is such a beautiful gifter of benevolence. There is no condition to what Source offers as gifts and of evolution and as blessings and of healing, of whatever it is that we want to experience and co-create. Source is infinitely blessing it to us. But we have to be the vessels of activation. just as Jesus in spirit, why they always went on the sacred journeys that they did, because there's infinite blessings that are awakening within the grids, that are awakening within the multidimensional communication elegance, but we have to be the ones to activate it. And it's not going to be activated through, yes, some intention, but most often than not, it's through the elegance of just being that sacred child. That's how we evolve our collective and our planet, so that those sacred songs of ancestors can come forward and be heard and seen and known. Therefore, all dimensional timelines are sewn together in a beautiful new experience, because we are healing many timelines through which our timelines were warped through control and greed and outside interference. And we're correcting it now, we're healing it now. And those are the energies that we all hold as sacred, because we want to allow ourselves in remembrance of our oneness. We are one. We are one. And through our stories of fear and through our stories of limitation, through our stories of all that we go through, we end up healing that and saying it doesn't matter because we're all one. And you will be standing here in a month or two when you heal those energies that think you're not one, because you are one. And as those foundations of all families, all lineage, all galactic forms and bodies are healed, our timelines are renewed once again with the Holy Christ. The Holy Christ outside of dogma from everything that we've known. Because it is a sacred frequency of infinite love and intelligence and benevolence and oneness. And that's the intention that you just hold space for and just allow. You can't control the outcomes. You can't control how anyone would walk or do things. You know, those are held within those timelines that have been warped, that we're healing. We're bringing them up to saying no more control, no more forcing, no more manipulating. Release those stories and those paradigms, because they're harmful. They just create clogged energy. They create damage to the cells. They create damage to the natural flow that is source and spirit. Your spirit just wants to live in the natural flow of benevolence. It knows what it's doing, but it's when the ego thinks, no, I've got to clamp down. It's got to come my way. It's got to be this way. It's got to be that way. No, the ego is doing that because it thinks it's fearing. It thinks it's lack. It thinks it won't receive. It thinks it won't be accepted. It thinks it won't belong. It will. Just release the story. You're trying to fit your spirit that's really high advanced into a small story that says, no, I won't be received. I won't be accepted. Well, yes, you will. Your spirit's already here saying you will. Just let the story go. You got to choose to let it go. And step out of the pattern, you know. But those are things we learn through accepting of all steps in between. You can't walk up this ladder and say, no, I don't accept this one. You got to accept it. Learn all parts and the processes of it. Learn yourself from all aspects of it. Yes, why was this that day and then that day and then what did I learn about it? Well, I was just rolling around in circles of fear. So now I choose to let it go. I get that story of fear. What did it teach me? Well, it taught me infinite resolve, that I can create something new, that I can believe in myself, that there is spirit and there's higher things that I can't see or know, because the world is talking to me and there's so many synchronicities that are coming to me, my dreams, my synchronicities, everything's showing me that I can atone this, I can make this right. And I choose to let it go. And I have the heavens that are working with me. That's how you know the heavens are working with you. It's just infinite moments of miracles coming to you and say, wow, where did that come from? And you remember all of these gifts that you've had for eons. It's time to awaken. It's time to celebrate. It's time to be okay with every step in between. And then face yourself and say, I'm ready to be new. I'm miraculous. I'm so profound. I'm so ready for this. And a lot of the healing work that you do in your daily self-care, just get yourself these beautiful little mirrors. And you see every little story, no matter how you face yourself in any story and how you want to reflect upon the story within you, there's infinite versions of you, and it goes way back. Infinite, it goes way back. And every time that you renew this story, and every time you step out of that limited story, you're saying, I'm going to step into this story now. I'm going to choose to behave this way now. I'm going to choose to act this way now. And then you bring that story to a new vibrational level. Then you bring it to a new vibrational level. Then you bring it to a new vibrational level. Then you bring it to a new vibrational. Then you bring it to a new vibrational level, where it's just you and your highest and your best. And you know you're living from spirit. You know your spirit saying, yeah, I'm harmonized with my higher self, because I resolved all of those stories that held me separate, that held me less than, that held me lack, that said that my consciousness was in the control of others. No, your consciousness is in control of you. Nothing affects your consciousness unless you say so. So stand in your power, stand in your light, allow harmony and love to just live through you, through every chakra. Let love speak through every chakra. Let love speak through every chakra. Hold nothing back. Be the enjoyment of you in all light. Be the safety of you, the creativity of you, the I am presence of you, the love of you. And all life is beautiful. It can't be not. There's an infinite story of beauty and grace and love held within all things. There just is. Source is. Source is. It's how we perceive ourselves outside of the story that said, well, there was a story that I had to be this, way back in there. There was a story that says I wasn't important, way back in there. And then that story held me separate. But then I healed that and I transmuted it. And then I'm bringing new experiences where I'm still going to be tested. My soul is going to say, are you worthy of something better? Are you worthy of a better relationship? Are you worthy of a higher relationship? Are you worthy of higher love from you first? Well, yes, I can do it this way now. 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 I can do it this way. Just be love. Hold yourself high. I am the love of source. I'm an infinite communicator of all that is love. All that is love. There's love everywhere. Everywhere is source. There's nowhere that is not source. And so we wanted to talk today about the infinite aspects through which spirit and light communicate, because it is. Spirit and light communicate in all ways, how ways. That's why sacred sound is so important. Light communicates in the way that light attracts itself to the light of the new. So in all moments of ascension, it's a constant evolutionary song of light, constant evolutionary song of light. And we are now being harmonized and aligned with higher light programs. We say higher light programs, they're just higher vibrational songs. And as you're doing your daily self-care, where you are releasing anything that comes forward in your dreams, you're doing your journaling, you're doing your processing and integrating, and then you get to choose anew as the spirit that you are. Then you create your world in the new higher vibrational energy of you. You're realigning to the epicenter of who you are, your highest guidance, your highest intention, your highest omnipresent, harmonization with your highest self, and you create your reality. And in this, you're then aware, because you absolutely are clearing out your fields of communication that were so blocked and clogged, and now you're ready to communicate with the all that you are, because the all that you are is outside, within, and all things in between. And part of this experience in our classes were showing me that we were holding space for one another for just the sacred play. And in that, we were shown many different things about other worlds and other consciousness that were communicating to us at all times. The song is always there. But there wasn't enough of that sacred energy of play for us to burst that bottleneck to have it come through and be heard, just as if that Dr. Seuss and the little Jojo had made that final sound of his big, huge machine that he had made in collaboration and in communion with his collective, through which he felt separate and not a part of. And that communion of that song and that offering was enough to burst the sound barrier so that Horton and all of those ones that were persecuting him could hear. Absolutely, there is life out there. Absolutely. And so it's an experience through which there's always music going on. And some of us come forward as conduits through the unexplainable and the undeniable of a song that's always present, and its source. Through the beauty that's always present, that is source. Through the way that we communicate, which is undeniable and we don't have words for, that is source. And why the masters were always masters, because they said and they honored and they portrayed gifts and stories of the human experience as allness. We are part of a multidimensional experience that we just don't have words for. That's allness. The omnipresent, constantly communicating with us through sounds and sacred geometry and color and vibrations of love and light cannot be described or proven, but there is a vibrational connection. And when you connect with it and you allow that natural experience just to flow and be the epitome of you as your expansiveness, because you will feel those moments and it will rock your world. That is when you are in full alignment of yourself as spirit, because you don't have to have anything proven. Miracles are not proven. They're just elegance of spirit connecting to say, yeah, I'm absolutely open, spirit. And that other part of spirit will say, yeah, you're open, here you go. But if you're shut off and say, no, you got to prove it to me. Nope, I'm not worthy of it yet. Nope, oh, nope. It can't ever get to you. It's a song of notes and vibration. Are you open and allowing and aware of who you are, spirit of light? And just allow light to live through you and speak through you. And it's constantly communicating, constantly at the vibration of wherever you are at any one moment. And why the daily self-care is so important. Because it gives you that opportunity to every day say, no, this is what I want to create with right now. I want to create with this part of me right now. And I get to, because source will allow everything to be laid before me. I trust that. I know source vibrationally. Source is always. There's no end. Source is there, deep and rich and wide and great and profound, and connecting us with all realms, all dimensions, all experiences for anything that we need to have resolved or healed. It's always there. We're always a part of it. We're never separate from it. And this experience showed me this weekend where they were showing me the beautiful seed, the seed in this soil. And they were the teams were exploring with me, can you take the God out of the seed? And is the seed the seed? And what about the God out of the soil that feeds the seed? And what about the water that feeds the soil that feeds the seed? And what about the seed now breaking out of its shell and becoming roots and becoming tendrils and becoming a stem and becoming a leaf and becoming the flower and the petal and the pollen? Can you take the God out of any part of it? Can you take the spirit? Can you take the oneness out of any part of it? The all is the all. It's the soil, it's the water, it is above and below and all things in between. It is the song. There is not source without not at all. It's all source. Your perspective that you hold within your experience of it, remember, it's all it. It's all love, it's all light, it's all source. Your experience of it and you will allow you to determine where on the evolutionary scale are you holding yourself. Are you holding yourself in neutrality, a part of it all, accepting it all, then choosing something new? And that's a constant evolutionary experience. Source is in all things. And it's the acceptance of love and oneness. That's constant. That's the constant song for those with the eyes and the hearts to hear. Because the eyes are seeing source in all things. As you see it and as you choose to perceive it, it's shown to you in all things by your feelings, your vibrations, your fields, all that you're able to communicate and transmute and translate. Your inner peace and the inner light that you hold within yourself through your daily self-care. I want to hold light today and I want to be peaceful. So all that is not peaceful, all that's holding me in friction, all that's holding me in at bay of who I am as greatness and as peace, I want to let that go. I want to transmute it because I get to choose. And your choice and your intention start bringing it so. I call in great light. I am peace and I am love and I'm grounded in this moment because I get to choose as peace. I get to choose as love. I understand my multidimensional bodies. I understand my ability to create. I understand that all of my chakras, all that I am is a constant communication of a loving song. And I get to awaken and I get to choose to awaken. I get to discern my awakening and I get to say what feels right and what doesn't feel right because that's my soul's path. Those are the gifts I was given to say, yes, this is right for me. It's okay if it's not right for you. That's your path and your way to transmute and understand energy. But I have my own unique soul, and this is my path to understand it and to be a part of it for me and to choose from it for me. Every soul is different, and it's meant to be because every soul has a unique color and a unique song and a unique sound, vibration. It's like the notes in an orchestra. Every note is required. Every note is a part of it. Not source is not of, not one. If you have an orchestration and they're playing this most magnificent piece of music, every note is needed. Every note is required to be a part of the original song, to be a part of the original tapestry of the weaving. They're all notes within Source's song. That's our oneness. And as you clear that out and you own that and you accept that and you communicate as that, I am one. In all moments, I am one. Whatever comes forward to me, I will accept and I will honor, and then I get to choose from my highest space of knowing, my highest space of my own counsel. Then I get to create anew. And that's the free will of Source. That's the free will. Each of us get to choose our own unique path without any hindrance, without any control or belligerence in the way of it, because that is free will. That's the free will. I own my consciousness ability to create choice and go forth in my own unique way because it's my choosing, my soul's path, my soul's journey. And Source will ensure that everything is supported along the way. Because you're taking that first step of your miracle. You are your own miracle. You are your own song. You are your own destiny. You are your own hero's journey. That's what's meant by it. Trusting you, valuing you, loving you, nourishing you, amplifying you. And your gifts are going to come forward. And again, like we said this week, we don't even have words for what we experienced this weekend because it's never been experienced before on Earth. So how are we able to put words to something we've never experienced before? That's what's coming, dear ones. That's 5D. We're not going to have experiences for the things we see in our dreams or our visions or our meditations. So be okay with it. Feel into the experience of joy and happiness and just allow that song to continue because you're allowing those threads that have been there for eons waiting to communicate with humanity, that have been there all the time. Our higher consciousness teams and councils constantly communicating with us, but now we're open. Now we can receive it. Now we can send it. So feel into those moments where you get to self-care and you get to say, what am I feeling today? Is there any energy? Is there any consciousness group of my highest and my best that wants to communicate with me? And then practice it throughout the day. So I'm going to practice feeling into how I can just know something. Using your vibrational senses. How can I just see something now? I want to practice with my inner sight, my galactic sight. Because I can. There's no limits. I can create a way of receiving information that we don't even have words for. That's not even understood. And this weekend was a great example of it. I was receiving and transmitting and translating information and communication that we just don't have words for. And it's fun. It doesn't need to be explained. I just know what I know. And I get to offer it and share it. That's love. I want to offer it. I want to share it. And when people are around me get excited, they say, yeah, oh my gosh, I felt that too. I felt that too. They get to explore themselves as a high vibrational being that can communicate, send and receive and experience information in themselves in a new way. That is the collective evolution. For the opening of one is the opening of the all. For we are that we are. We are the story of one. Every note belongs to another note. Every note activates another note. Every note, and some are harmonies, and some are the lyrics, and some are the beautiful blessings, and some are the intros, and some are the landscapes from behind. However you want to describe it in the most artistic way, that is God, that is beauty, that is the sacred experience. And so it's really time to celebrate, and our cells are constantly aching for that new light, aching for the new light. And so we release the density by calling in great light. I am beautiful, I am light, I am beautiful, I am light. And just feed your cells light, feed your voice light, feed your chakras light, just by through your intentions. Today I will wake up. I release all stories about aging. I release all stories about lack of health. I release all stories about less than, because I am beautiful, I am abundant in health, and I am abundant in wellness. I am that I am. My cells are the voice of my love and my joy and my beauty of who I am. Because everything I am a spirit is talking to spirit. Spirit within, spirit without. I am spirit, and I'm connecting, I'm communicating, and I'm transmitting all of it. And it's through the acceptance of my loving oneness of it. It's all a part of me. It's part of the parts I can't explain, the parts that were holding me back in limitation, that I wasn't good enough, or I wasn't worthy enough. Yes, I am, and so are you. So start believing in it, start knowing it, start understanding it, start playing and nurturing within it. And you just need to open and intend and breathe and call in spirit and ground. I choose to see and experience and explore myself anew. I choose to see and experience and explore myself anew. I surrender to source. I surrender to all outcomes of source. Or if it's my intention just to heal and offer love, that will be the honoring. That will be the outcome. And it's okay. Everything's going to make its way to wherever it needs to be. That's source. It's the perfect vibrational experience of source. Vibrational songs will go with vibrational songs. It's a perfect outcome. We don't have to know or control it or manipulate it. It's just source. When you're standing truthfully within you, allowing and sharing and opening and expressing and experiencing, that's the sacred flow of source. Everything will be as it should. And you'll be blessed with everything before you. That's source. And we are each the ones that bring our own nourishment. We are each the ones that bring our own wisdoms, because that takes that opening and that holding space to just trust. You have no idea what's going to happen, right? You have no idea what's going to happen when you choose to offer yourself as a creative gift. But you just offer it. You just start posting a blog, or you just start posting and writing or poetry or songs. You just start singing. It's just your sacred gift and offering of it, and trusting that all is as it would be. If you're meant to create something further and more organized from it, your teams will show you. You'll get those synchronicities and those signs and those symbols. You'll have people show up and say, wow, I heard you singing. Can we share? You know, that's creation. You'll be shown. And so they were saying all is an aspect of truth. They're just various versions of truth wherever that soul is required to be at in its moments of its truth understanding. In that moment of truth, that's what was known and seen and understood. So it had to experience that moment of truth and choice to say, I want to choose something different now. So you don't know the experiences and the variations of truth unless you go through all of it and know how to alchemize all of it. You can't just use a new age cliche to say, no, it's done. You need to alchemize it, and honoring it and owning it and accepting it. All parts are you. That's alchemy. Not just stepping over 5 parts of it and saying, okay, I'm ascended now. No, you got to alchemize it. It's just going to keep coming back to you, because that vibrational story is still there. Still there. You got to understand alchemy and how you're renewing, constantly renewing this now moment, this now moment, this now moment, this now moment of source. Again, constantly renewing this now moment. Time, past, present, future. Your past is way back there. If we're looking at this top down, remember, top down. We are all beehives, top down, all now moments, all now moments, all now moments. Time is not linear. Way back there when you were born, you were told a story, and then another story, and then another story, and then your dogma, and then your society, all those stories, vibrational stories that you're now stepping out of in this now moment, this now profound moment, this now profound time where all timelines are spiraling now, now, now. Now I get to choose love. Now I get to choose peace. No matter what, I release it all and I just be love. I accept myself no matter what story was told to me way back there. I choose to be love now. No matter what story was told to me, no matter what belief was thrown at me, no matter what obligations or projections were thrown at me, I choose love now and I forgive. That's alchemy. Understanding this now moment, this now presentation of new light, because remember, we're always being bathed with new light. And that light offers you the opportunity to see what was created, choose for yourself, free will, and then step into the new reality. And every now choice creates new. Every now choice creates new. Every now choice creates what you're walking into. We say linear, but it's just another now moment. And that's why sometimes when we're in those profound experiences and classes where we're just holding space for creative exploration, that now part of you that's in that high vibrational experience of you is showing you, oh wow, my ears are just doing profound ringing. See, I'm connecting with that version of me. This now reality of you is showing you that you're already there. You're connecting with that excited vibration of you there. So we think it's a future part, but it's not. It's just an aspect of our experience that's showing us, yes, come this way, come this way. Those are those vibrational poles where all of you is tuned in and turned on. And you get those synchronicities, you get those little miracles, you get those connections. It's all source. You is source. Source is you. You are the seed, you are the soil, you are the water, you are all things in between. It's all source. Source is not just in the petal. Source is all things, all times. Little droplets of water going up to the roots. It's all source. There is a song. It's all an elegant experience. The soul's experience and spirit's experience is we're harmonizing as spirit. It's just to experience and explore ourselves as oneness. That's why we have those experiences. I want to experience myself in the water. I want to experience myself as a part of the tree. I want to experience myself as a part of those beautiful tribes that connected with us this weekend. What are they saying to us? How are we belonging as one? That's evolution. Make no mistake about it. Evolution is not merely just an invention. No, evolution is your experience and your allness and your expression and exploration of your allness within the allness. That's evolution. The most profound evolutionary moments have nothing to do with an invention. It has to do with you allowing yourself to be seen and known and experienced and expressed and loved within it all. Can you feel yourself within the flower? That's evolution. Can you show your consciousness inside of a tree? That's evolution. Can you allow yourself to be the highest minded, intelligent being of all that is as you transmute, receive, and send information that's beyond knowing and undeniably pure? That's love. That's evolution. We're not held in a box of limiting experiences of the mind. We are spirit experiencing love and light, and it is a song, and we communicate it, we transmute it, we transmit it through all that we're feeling and all that we're being, and why the emotional body in balance is so very important to manifesting a higher vibrational reality. We're rebalancing our bodies, rebalancing all of the emotional wounds, all of the mental wounds, and how the body takes on all those wounds. Just clearing them out through grace. Today I choose to bring forward any energies and any densities that are held within my chakras and my cells, in my bodies and in the tissues. I call light to the bone. I call light to my cells. I call light and consciousness to the highest frequencies of all consciousness within me. Through my chakras, bathe and cleanse all chakras now, open now. My chakras are open now. I bathe all my chakras with light and love, please. Thank you, Spirit. I'm asking my higher self and my soul to come forward and assist me in bathing all that I am in light. For my cells ache for light. My cells want to receive light. My cells want to communicate as light. Because I am a being of light, first and foremost. As the very first incarnation, I am a song of light with source. And I'm just remembering I am. Therefore, in this remembrance, I'm opening and I'm activating all the ways through which I can communicate as light and song. For right now, they're showing me that we are communicating in a way, dear lighted ones, that is in this dimension and other dimensions. We're all communicating as essence and songs as one. You're just harmonizing with the greater song that you are. Does that make sense, dear lighted ones? For you are not only seed in the soil and blooming to a beautiful flower, but you are the garden within all that is creation. Does that make sense, dear lighted ones? For you see yourself in a garden now with infinite number of flowers and shrubbery and grasses and trees. Does that make sense? You are all parts within the garden, not just the seed. Does that make sense? You are the song that is source and all things in between. That is the communication of love. And as you allow yourself, allow the acceptance of yourself as love within the all that is song of source, the vibration of light, consciousness of love, of evolution, you will allow yourself the greater song and the greater interpretation that you are all light. Your body is a song, every cell singing to another cell if you so choose, and release all the illness and the density within these cells so that you will never catch an illness, you will never catch a disease, because you are in commandment of the light within your cells, and the cells just ache for greater songs of love. And the cell vibrating in love will not catch disease. Vibrate as love, vibrate as love, vibrate as love. I'm the acceptance of love. I am the acceptance of love, and all my cells are with me as love. And I ground as love. I ground as love. My heart is open as love. My chakras are communicating with me. My fields are communicating with me. And I'm connecting and I'm grounding with Gaia. I want to hear her song too. He shishaya na bakata take take shishaya la la take take ana take take ma take shishaya take 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 I na 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 take shishaya na 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 take take they're showing me shamans and fairies and elementals working in the boreal forest, and they're creating sounds and songs of intention with the trees. They're working with the trees. They're working with the roots and the grounding of these trees to create new vibrations of love and light. And why our songs through ancestry, our songs through inner and outer earth shamanism, our songs through our just sacred play of singing with Gaia and being with Gaia, and our intentions of living within the nature animals and energies of consciousness of the creator gods and Elohim, and creating greater templates of light is held within the light. Our intentions to sing in the light, for we are within it all. And our songs reach far reaching. For you might think, well, how is consciousness? How can I hear the song of a boreal forest that isn't even in my consciousness awareness of my vicinity or my community? Consciousness is now, dear lighted ones. It's God. It's source. It's the creator. You open to your allness of the creator, and right now we're on the Pleiades in a forest singing and dancing. For your consciousness is now source, now source, now source. What are your excitements? Well, right now I want to be with my ancestors in Orion. So now they're showing me the ancestors from Orion with a vibrational thread that's going to the boreal forest, and the shamans that are working within Earth, and they're working with the sounds within the grids to feed it to the forest that are feeding these new informations from those that also contribute to our light programs from Orion. You place yourself within the all, dear lighted ones, and source is just showing you where you like to dance. Boy, I like to dance, spirit. I love to dance, spirit. I love to be the sacredness and the love of who you are. And part of my gifts are to bring the sacredness and the beauty of all that is joy and all that is the songs and all that is the creator songs. To know that there's an infinite number of energies and infinite number of songs that we are all threaded within. And it is of our own unique blessing, our own unique gifts, dear lighted ones. For our gifts are why we are here. Our gifts will be activated so that we can thread these new activations for our new becoming, because we're always becoming, we're always becoming, we're always becoming in greater oneness, in greater oneness, in greater oneness. Clearing of the throat chakra. This is my truth, my sacred truth, my vibrational truth, for I am one with the ancestors. Thank you, ancestors. I'm one with the oracles of light. I'm one with the inner and outer earth shamans. I'm one with the ancestors of the Elohim. Thank you, Elohim. Star Council. Thank you, Star Council, and the Galactic Federations and the Councils of Light. Thank you. Again, it's right now. It's a right now amalgamation, but because of how our words work and the linearity of our communication, you're just feeling and hearing it as a linear story, but it's not, it's now. And for the chamber of light is the chamber of light. This is how we communicate. Joanna has set the intention to have a chamber of light open through which all consciousness is available to her, through her threading, through her excitement to bring consciousness of various stages and realms and dimensions, through her conduit space that is the Christ consciousness. And in this Christ consciousness can transmute information from dimensions and timelines and threads of vibration through which the Creator allows her to experience in all of her excitement as the transmuter of the Holy Christ, the transmuter of the daughter and the child of God, so that each and every one of you may allow yourselves to also be that seed, that sacred seedling, to open and awaken and bloom your own unique gifts, to hear your own energies of consciousness, to hear your own energies of peace and sacredness, for that is you, the unique song of you. And do you trust and allow and surrender into the acceptance of who you are as a gift? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. In your awakening of your own unique gifts and expressing them, however weird and however awkward and however unusual. For remember, as you practice becoming your higher self, as you practice becoming your fifth dimensional self, remember, dear lighted ones, it's not meant to feel anything like it was 3D. However, in your 3D becoming, it's all a part of the song as well. So it's beautiful and sacred and true as well. It's all right. But those stories will come up to test you and to put you back in those stories of vibrational wounding. that you were ostracized or you were bullied because of your sacred expression of your own highest truth. That's okay. It's all sacred. It's all true. So honor it. The more you love it as sacred, the more you love it as true. Have that be a part of your now new sacred song. Do not separate it from your beauty, from your sacredness, for it is a part of the song. It is the song, and you're transmuting. That is your alchemy. You're including it as your song. Even those most challenging experiences of abuse or trauma, include it as your song. As a collective, this is how you will heal. The collective healing of your allness is to include it all. Bathe it all as accepting. Bathe it all as love. Bathe it all as the song of source. Bathe it all as the song of your becoming. How beautiful is that, dear lighted ones? It's a song. It's a song. It's all a song included. All are included. Every being on this planet, every aspect of life is included. Source has elegant plans for each and every one of you. You are all included. You are all sacred. You are all beautiful. Hold within your hearts all that is sacred and true, for you are beautiful. You are a song of source. And ground. Sacred sounds of the holy. I was hearing this song. I think it was Shaka Khan, Smooth Operator. You know, they show me in the olden days where my granny used to be one in the World War. She was a telephone operator, and they used to connect the lines to the lines, the smooth operator. And that's what sound and tone and the Christ consciousness conduit energies are like. We're connecting vibrations from different elements, which create new templates. Hard to explain. I don't have words for what they are. We're like vibrational threader. We're weavers. We are the web creators, the world creators through vibrational sounds. And they show me what occurs in a consciousness level, because our bodies and what we experience is just an illusion. We get to now, going from 3 to 5D, we now get to show ourselves through the consciousness awakening and the beauty and the expression of who we are, that it is through the spirit, the consciousness, that we're creating matter. And so they were just showing me through the smooth operator, I was connecting these sounds and these threads from different experiences and threading it into the 5D, and why it's so important that we just express. Because it's not only the healing for the soul and all the soul wounds that you've accumulated over times and timelines right now. Thank you, I'm clearing. Thank you, Spirit. But you get to create those experiences of the potentials, and that source is just responsible for. You just got to express. Everything will be delivered to you. You don't have to know what they're doing or why they're doing it. Source knows what source is doing. You just got to express yourself fully and completely, and allow yourself to be aligned in love and the joyful expression of you, and own it, honor it. That's me. Yeah. I don't have names for what I do. I don't need a name. I don't need titles. I don't need definitions. I don't need, I don't know, what are they called? Certificates. Does Buddha have a certificate? Do you ask Buddha for certificates? No, Buddha's Buddha. Masters are masters. They're tuned into the vibrational song. Yes, it's nice to have that. It's not wrong, but it doesn't define who you are. Those are the definitions from a world we're leaving, because it's not that fulfilling. I can have that and say, yes, I achieved that. That's really wonderful and great. It's part of my story. It's all perfect and true. But I don't need it to continue defining who I am, because it's bigger, it's grander, it's more beautiful, it's sacred. It's all a part of it. It's all a part of the song. There's no wrong in any of it. But allow yourself to release what you think defines you. Allow yourself to release what limitations you think define you. Because there's stories that aren't necessary in where you want to be. Your soul is a part of all of it. You're threading this vibrational song through all of it. That's a story that said you need a certificate to be valued and to be appreciated and to pay you a certain amount of money. No, those are titles held within old world realities that are breaking up now. Because that's egocentricity that doesn't serve the soul's purpose of exploration of spirit. It's a part of it. It's a stair, but it's not soulfully spiritually fulfilling. So step out of what you think defines you. Who are you? What do you exist within? And what exists within you? Cannot be proven, cannot be proofed, cannot be put into a certificate. You just are. You're the essence of love. You're the essence of joy. And have all of it in between be a part of that becoming, a part of that oneness, a part of that story and song, because we're all one. It's all needed, it's all required. And what else did they say? Thank you, Spirit. So the transcending of it all is the loving of it all. You can't transcend it if you're pushing it away or not accepting it or separating it or judging it. To transcend it is to love it and to honor it and accept it all. Every stair, every step, every path, every experience, love it all. It's you. You got this. You got this. Every step of the way, every breath counts. Every breath counts. Every breath counts. You're you, you're you, you're you. Every part is part of the note with a beautiful orchestra. And be kind and caring to all, for they are all your people. It's all your family. Everybody in front of you and everybody you think that's not a part of your family, you're a part of your family, make no mistake about it. Is the stem not a part of the flower? Is the seed not a part of the flower? Is the water that nourishes, that doesn't even come from the flower, a part of the flower? That song that's in the ethers that's waiting to be sung just by you, is that a part of Source? Is that a part of you? Yes, you're just opening to let it in. That flower is just opening up its tendrils to let that water through, to be fed in a new way. Are the petals a part of the flower? Is it part of Source? Is it part of you? Yeah. That's why the tree of life is so profound in all of our teachings. What foundations do you build your tree upon? Is it built on love and oneness and allness? And before it was built on things that are breaking now. Things that are not truthful of oneness. We're all one. What is your story of oneness? That's the foundation through which you feed your tree. That's why the fruits will bear. If you bear your fruit with all the nourishments that we are all one, all are accepted, all stories, all versions, all values, all spaces in between, it feeds that tree, and that tree will have glorious fruit. All are accepted, all are valued, and all are needed to be its own unique path of expression. And that fruit will continue to bear fruit. For it knows of its value, it knows of its purity, it knows of its intention to simply be the expressionist of who they are as pure light and pure love, without apology, without holding back or making oneself small to appease others around them. No, bear the fruit of who you are and the expression of who you are, spirit, for that is how you create the matter of who you are. And as you only create half of who you are, then that will be half of an expression that is returned, or the fear of who you are, that is what is returned. Or the smallness of who you are based on projections and stories or other roles or titles that you were held within. No, release those stories. Those timelines and those ancestors are saying, release those stories. You don't have to follow those stories anymore. You're creating brand new timelines, brand new, brand new, brand new. Sing your song of uniqueness. You get to. For that of a broken heart, it can be healed through the allness of that is song. In all that is in the path, light touches. So that we're talking about the expression of light. So light touches every heart that has ever been wounded. Light will touch it, light will bathe it, light will heal it, light will put you back together. That is Source. But we have to be the ones that ask it. We have to be the ones that say, I choose to entangle with you, Source. I choose to know myself as light. I choose to express myself as light. I choose to seek myself. Who am I? What do I exist within, and what exists within me? I want to explore this glorious path. That's exciting. That's where I get to know myself as spirit, where we don't just have words for things that unfold. For light will touch it all. Light will bathe it all. Light will show you. That's the innate path of light. Light will heal it. Just open and allow and just surrender. I surrender, and Source will bathe this family experience in light. Whatever needs to be healed, source will bathe it. I have faith and I have knowingness that light will bathe it all and heal it all. And all that is in its path, light will touch, for it cannot help but touch it. It cannot help but change it. It cannot help but transmute it. That's light. Light touches it all and bathes it all. But through which of it is our perspective. That no, that doesn't work. It has to be proven. The logical mind says, no, I need it to be proven to me. Spontaneous remission. That's consciousness taking itself up to God level. Say, yes, I can clear my cells of this. I can and I will. I am that of source. As within, so above. As within, so without. As above, so below. The water, the seed, and everything in between. That's source. You are alchemy. You are source alchemy. You are the light of alchemy. If you choose to. It's always free will. And that's the beauty of it. Source will always say, here it is. Just like our class this weekend. It's always there. But we held space to have those sacred songs finally burst through. That final tone, that final vibration of acceptance and allowance and love to say, yeah, we're a part of this big family. Show us, let's play, let's create together. That's when worlds are woven as one. That is the blessing of light. That is the blessing of love. That is the blessing of oneness. That's where we're creating, dear lighted ones. We don't have words for it. Isn't that remarkable? Yeah, man, let's go. In all that is in its path, light touches, for it cannot help but do that. It cannot help but be that. And it pleases to be that. Light just pleases to bathe light. Light begets light. It just wants to help and heal. That's light. That's God. That's the invisible song and the essence of the omnipresence. You put out a pulsation of love and it's going to come back to you. That's just source. Bathing it, yes, that's evolution. I just want to be that for you. I love you and I adore you. Whatever you're excited about, I'm excited about too, because you're given it for a reason. That's the elegance of source. That's what the mind can't wrap its head around. Well, the mind thinks that it's an idea from the mind. No, that's the essence of spirit. It's called inspire. You are the inspiration of source. You are the spirit of the essence that is source. Inspiration comes from the essence of source. Your spirit. The creation of spirit. The inspiration. The spirit creating matter. Because we're physical, we're just seeing it in that physical, linear experience. I'm taking a piece of wood with a hammer and I'm building it. But it started as the inspiration of spirit, just as the seed of the flower and everything in between. It's all source. What's your excitement? Who are you? How do you want to create? How do you want to explore? How do you want to express yourself? How do you want to experience spirit today? How do you want to experience your voice? You're magical. There's no end. There's no infinite. There's no finite experience through which you can experience yourself as. You're infinite. You're continually being touched and bathed by light. That was the process. That is the flow of light, constant, infinite, eternal, constantly nourishing, constantly transmuting, constantly renewing, constantly alchemizing. That's light. Light just wants to do it. Light just light. That's evolution. It's the essence. It is the sacred whisper to which all is brought to new life. Light is the infinite whisper through which all is brought to infinite renewal, infinite new life. For the grace is in you, and the light is in you to give. So if you're activating the light within you, the grace within you, the infinite abundance within you, it's just in it to give it. And as you allow it to be released and give it and offer it forth as your sacred sharing for no other reason, not to get anything, but just to express it as excitement, to express it as the sacred child that you are, for it will be returned to you tenfold. Those are this experience of spirit. That's the infinite light that it wants to. Yes, here you go, here you go, here you go. And that light is returning it to you in any ways that source deems it. You see what we're saying? You're not limited in any way. Open up to the infinite blessing that is light, the path of light, the song of light, the infinite benevolence of light. It just wants to. That's source. That's how much source loves you, just wrapping you in light every moment you want to entangle with it. Anytime you want to say, yes, I'm worthy of this light. I'm becoming of this light. I am one of this light. And everything that I thought was a problem is now being transmuted in this light because I get it. I get to choose. I get to choose to be a part of this becoming of oneness. And that is the beauty and the gentleness of God's love and promise for you. That as you ache for it and seek it, that it will be blessed to you tenfold. That is God's promise and love for you. Source's promise, the Creator's love, the promise, the omnipresent, however you choose to know, the elegance and the existence of all that is constantly evolving, constantly creating new star systems, constantly creating new galaxies, constantly creating new evolutionary programs. There is a purpose. You're a part of it. You're a song in it. You're a note within it. You each were a promise to each other. You each are brothers and sisters to one another. You each allow one another to see each other's song. and your promise within that song, that I can activate love within you, and I can activate challenges within you, and I can activate forgiveness and compassion within you, and I can activate how you can look at me one day and not like me, and the next day you say, I forgive you and we're brothers. However you choose to soak within the light story, the song, and the constant fluidity of grace and beauty that is light, constantly touching and healing and transmuting, transposing, transcending, transmitting, however words you want to define the elegance and the song that is source. It is a beautiful experience of light begets light. If you so choose, it's always free will. And you can just sit as an open vessel and receiving that light begets light, light begets light. And whatever ailment and illness I have within me, light will touch it and light will heal it, because I get to choose. I get to know my body as light today. Today I'm harmonizing as my higher self, and I get to see all as light. I get to know that there is an infinite path and an infinite song that cannot be described. And I'm a part of this song. I'm surrendering to this song. And my heart is open, and I know that everything that comes before me is a promise and is a gift for me to seek oneness within it, for me to seek light within it, for me to know that my light is connecting with its light, and we're weaving something brand new that's never been seen before or heard before, for I've never been here before. And I'm open. And I'm honoring of this sacred gift. I'm honoring of this sacred blessing that I am. That's my promise through which I came forward, to be my fullest expression of love and grace and beauty. That was my promise to Source, that my light will beget more light. And through which my unique and authentic and genuine expression of who I am is a pillar of light for others to be their most authentic and genuine expression of who they are. For we are all individual sacred notes of the song that is light and oneness. And we each bathe one another with our acceptance and our allowance of who we are as sacred, for our acceptance and our allowance for who we are as gifted and blessed. For that is the promise that we were gifted from our first incarnation, and I'm just remembering that now. And I accept myself as light. I accept myself as light in every aspect of who I am, my cells, my organs, my tissues. And I am in communion with my higher self, and my consciousness accepts all that which is light and magnificence. And that's how I get to create, because I get to choose. I am in commandment of my life. I am in commandment of my healing. I am in commandment of all that I direct and co-create as magnificent and miraculous. And Source will support me. The universe will support me. It's an elegant song of light, and I'm matching vibrationally with it. And this I know to be true. And I breathe in the light and the sacredness of my own gifts and breathe. I call in new codes of light. I call in new codes of remembrance for my higher self and all the synchronicities and my teams and my guides and all of the heavens and all of creation that is working with me on my behalf of awakening, my behalf of remembrance, my behalf of my oneness with creation. Thank you, Creator. Thank you, creators. Thank you, creators, and all that I am as a higher self and a soul. Thank you as love and light. Thank you. Thank you. And how beautiful and how sacred. Thank you, dear lighted ones. And we wanted to just pull a beautiful sacred card. I have these beautiful. There it is. Here it is. This beautiful deck, a very high vibrational deck. It's beautiful. Really beautiful, beautiful deck. And we wanted to just show this card right here. It's so cute. So cute. And it reminds me of the seed. And you are a creator. You're creating it. You are the seed. You are everything that nourishes the seed. You are everything that grows from that seed. It's not held separate. What we think is separate from the seed, it is not. That seed affects all wildlife. And then it goes back within the cycle of the song that is Source. Are we awake to it? Are each and every one of us, which these little dots behold, are each and every one of us separate from what's occurring in and around it and above it and below it? No, we're a part of the story. It's part of the picture. It's part of the song. How you perceive yourself within it will show yourself as separate from it. Or not. You're part of it. It's your love for yourself. I'm a part of this song now. I want to tune in. I want to be a part of this song. And you got to declare it. Say, yes, I'm a part of this song, Spirit. I'm ready. I'm ready to be a part of this song. Show me the way. Seek it. I seek it in all things. I seek it in my food. I seek it in my drink. I seek it in all that I express myself in, as because I absolutely know you're here. You're here, you're there, you're all things in between. And I get to communicate with you. And that's the majesty of who I am as a gift. That was my promise to you and myself and all of creation, to offer my gifts and activate something that's never been seen before on earth. And we get to play and we get to create anew. We get to play within those gifts of ourselves, don't we? Isn't that what we want for our children? Do we want our children to be held back into old stories of what they thought or were taught back in second or first grade that have no bearing on who they are in this moment? It's part of the story, but is it part of who they are becoming? It's part of the story, it's a part of the note. But is it the infinite aspect of who we are? There's so much more. There's so much more. You're so profound. You're so profound. There's so much more. There's so much more. It's all included. It's all included. But you are not small in any way. You are remarkable. And you are infinite. And you are powerful. And you are a creator that's meant to be expressed. And as I express, I am in full alignment. My chakras, my experience, inner and outer, as above and so below. I'm in alignment. Thank you, Spirit. And our magical card for today is, dun, dun, dun. Oh my gosh. Inner and outer. Oh, what a remarkable. See, always remarkable. And it is, she's creating her world. She's inside the tree. Remember, she is the seed. She is all parts of it, are in and about. And she's creating as her oneness of it. Place your consciousness wherever you choose to place it within, and it will be there. And that's why you experience what you do, because you're telling yourself, your consciousness, that you're on the same cycle and the same story of density and pain and trauma. If you so choose, you can step off of that karmic cycle and that karmic wheel and say, I choose to be a part of a grander story. This is who I choose to be today. And I'm going to envelope my world within everything that I can, because I am a part of the forest. I'm a part of the trees and the soils and the seeds and all things in between. That's your gift. You have that gift that Source gave you. You can create worlds. Do you know that of yourself? Do you love that of yourself? Can you nourish yourself of that? You are a creator with Source. You are a blessing. Blessing, blessing, blessing. And she's being fed by the soil. She's being fed by the tree, and she's creating. She is building her world around who she is as spirit, from above and below and all things in between. She's networking with all the fields of light. That's how I see it. I'm a networker, and I bring codes of light in and I weave it. I bring codes of light in and I weave it. Whatever consciousness is ready to hear me as I open and I activate through the councils of light. And all that I am as Christ consciousness is turned on, and they see that little spark of light. They see that little spark of light that's ready to connect, that's ready to connect. Elementals and fairies hear through the sound and the song that is Source, that light song. And as you turn it on and accept it and you express it through however you are, whether it's dancing or chanting or singing or whatever it is your creative expression, and all are turned on to be a part of that glorious song, whether it's through holding space, whether it's through singing along, whether it's through chanting, whether it's through planting seeds, whether it's through the element of dancing, however it is, it's all a part of it, and it's all being turned on to play that part of becoming in oneness. So amazing. Thank you, dear lighted ones. For those of you that would like to be a part of our weekly World Ascension classes, the link is below. You just make a donation of $22 US minimum, and then I send you a link by 11:30 every Saturday. And our bi-monthly divine feminine moon wisdoms and healings and leadership classes, for how we're allowing all that we are as divine vibrational healers and leaders and creators to create and design a world of our own making through all of our vibrational gifts, high vibrational gifts. And that is bi-monthly on the new moon and full moon. And then I also hold private sessions and private healing sessions and World Ascension classes in many different topics and alignments. So for those that so desire, my email is below, our links are below, and we love you so much. And don't forget to be the rainbow that you are, and shine and shine and shine, where you are loved and adored at all times. And there's constant song going on. You just got to connect and entangle. We love you, dear lighted ones. The links are below. We rainbow you. Rainbow tickles. Bye.